Welcome to the house next door
with Barbara Gillio
and Anthony Harris,
where real estate meets reality.
Well, welcome back, guys.
Yes,
to
welcome
the house next door.
To the house next door, where reality meets.
We already have the intro.
I know, but I like to say it, where real estate meets reality, because it's so
we'll butcher it up.
And I'm loving how, for people who don't live in Texas, or for people who do live in Texas, it is so exciting when we finally start to have temperatures break from our awful hot summer.
And it wasn't too bad this year, but the humidity.
The humidity. Oh. And I moved recently to Smithville, which I've mentioned a gazillion times. And the humidity in Bastrop, Smithville is very different than the hill country.
I wonder why.
I don't know I think it's the Gulf.
Okay.
The Gulf of America or the Gulf of Mexico. It's just the Gulf. Okay. It's just the Gulf.
Where the big body of water is.
That big body of water lingering out there.
That hurricanes come in. It is hurricane season right now.
It is. Yeah. I know. Yeah. But this morning I walked outside. It was in the 60s.
Yes.
Yay!
And last night it felt nice.
Yes. I can sit on the patio again and look at the turkeys.
You just moved here.
I know, but I could sit in the patio in May, and then I couldn't sit on the patio again until now. Today, we're going to talk about things that obstacles that we have overcame in our personal life, professional life, to just be more evolved people, stronger people, which translates to, serving our clients better, just serving our lives better, because as humans, we should always be striving to constantly evolve and learn and grow, and being able to say, oh man, I could have done this better. What are my takeaways? What 3 things can I learn from this situation that I could do differently to make me, just a little bit wiser? I always feel like there's no failures in life as long as you're able to look back on it and see how you could have done things differently and you learn something from it. As long as you learn something from your failures, they're not failures. Those are wins.
Yep.
Because that's how we become interesting people. We have diverse situations and we have adversity, and it's how we learn from that adversity and grow from it that makes it part of our character and who we are.
I went to Tom Ferry. And so when you were talking about that, something I was thinking of is confidence.
Yeah.
And Josh Altman was speaking there.
Oh, we're huge Bravo fans. So shout out to first of all the housewives adore you. Sorry, squirrel segue. And $1 Million Listing. I mean, Josh Flagg. Oh, he's our favorite. Josh Flagg by far is our favorite. But we like Josh Altman.
Why is Glenda Baker not on there?
She needs to be.
Yeah.
They need to have
Atlanta.
one on $1 Million Listing Atlanta.
Yeah. I feel like that would be good.
Yeah, they've got.
I feel like
out
Austin
there.
Should have one.
Austin should.
The top.
Hey, Tracy could be here too because she's already in this. Like we're talking about these people, like we know that, right? Because we do. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Talk about Josh Altman.
So one of the things they talked about was confidence, and that's something I struggle with. I know real estate, but there's still that confidence piece. At the end of the day, a $2 million home is just like a $200,000 home.
Right.
The only difference is it's bigger.
More zeros and commas, but you're treating the transaction the same.
Yeah, there's no difference in the way that it transacts.
Mm-hmm.
And something that Josh Altman talked about in his keynote was he knew that from the very get-go that he wanted to focus on high-end luxury. He was going to go to Beverly Hills and sit in the Starbucks there and have all his MLS sheets spread out with his business where people could tell that he was a realtor.
Right.
And he walked in, an MBA star walked in with their agent. This was the Starbucks that a lot of the agents took their clients to go get coffee. And he said that he poured out his coffee, threw it away, and went in line right behind him.
Oh, wow.
And started talking about real estate and then sold his property.
Wow.
And that was his first deal.
That's confidence.
And it was a $12 million home, something like that. It was a substantial amount. But the confidence that took.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine. I can talk to someone, no problem. I can talk about real estate.
Right.
I can talk about homes. Glenda Baker also talks about that, too, that she said the number one place is a bar. She's like, even if you don't drink, go sit down at a bar, get a glass of water. When someone sits down, you talk about how you just showed 1, 2, 3 Banana Street. And that it's great and all this, and then it'll translate into business.
Right. Sometimes and they always do talk about, like, I've taken some of these, just seminars or just listening to other luxury agents talk about how they procure their clientele. And it's mostly, living that lifestyle that their clients live as well. So they're at country clubs, they're playing tennis, they're playing pickleball at the high end country clubs. They're rubbing shoulders with like-minded people in that luxury.
And that's exactly what Josh said. He said that you need to hang out with the clients that you want.
Yes, exactly.
And so you go to the Beverly Hills Starbucks.
Right. Yeah.
Set up shop.
Yeah.
So next week, see me in Westlake.
You go ahead. I love where I am right here.
But that
I am good.
But the confidence isn't there.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, though. Confidence is a huge thing that you have to overcome, or not overcome, but just get comfortable with.
Being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Being comfortable, uncomfortable, especially in real estate, because I get a lot of people who ask me about breaking into real estate. And
I thought you were going to say breaking into other people's houses.
Oh, well, there's that. I'll just use my lockbox, throw it through the window. And
at your own risk.
And part of it is confidence, is having confidence in.
Well, and you're dealing with clients that are buying their biggest investment or their biggest life purchase, and if you're not confident, they don't want to work with you.
Yeah, it's a huge responsibility that's being put on your shoulders of helping people with the largest transaction typically of their lives, right? Because their homes are their biggest asset. And so you have to have the confidence to do that, but you also have to have the knowledge. And I know people say fake it till you make it, but I don't really believe in playing with people's money that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I did as a new agent to prepare myself to be able to be competent in that position. And I think that's really important aspect of evolving yourself as a realtor, and not just go, oh, fake it till I make it. You have somebody looking over your contracts. You have somebody helping advise you through those inspections.
I still do. I call broker support, and I'm like,
you're a topic at broker support. They talk about you.
They probably talk about you too.
I was going to say, I throwing shade at Anthony, but they talk about me too.
We have obligation to our clients, and there's still stuff we don't know. I've been licensed 10 years. You've been licensed
since 2014. So that's 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still things that come up, and like last week.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the biggest things that I personally struggled with is, well, I guess it's confidence too. But I had, and I don't know if other people out there have this. I mean, a lot of people do. I have suffered from anxiety disorder most of my life. I mean, pretty much all my life. I was born with it. And there were times in my life where I hid it because I was so ashamed of my anxiety disorder, and I saw it as a weakness. And so I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my sister. At the time, I was married to my first husband, who I met in high school. And I just hid it from everybody. But it was like the worst kept secret, because everybody knew I was falling apart, but nobody would say anything. But I got to a point where I couldn't drive a car.
Wow.
I couldn't be alone in a public place because I was so afraid of having an anxiety attack.
Wow.
And somehow I built my world where I never was driving alone or going anywhere alone.
And now look at you.
I know. And now look at me. I was working for Jimmy Jacobs Custom Homes when it finally just came to a head, and I was doing marketing. This is back when I was in marketing. And I had just finished this beautiful, gorgeous brochure for them. And I was so proud of it, but I had worked so hard on it. And at the time, my marriage was also falling apart. And so, sorry, getting a little vulnerable here. And I started to have an anxiety attack that it was a constant anxiety. Like, I could not turn off the anxiety attack. Mm-hmm. And it would not stop. And my son he's just a little baby. He's only 2. Well, I don't know how old he was. I have to think about I think he was around 3, 4 at the time. And I remember I couldn't even be a mom to him, because I was so caught up in all of my stuff. I was just trying to survive. I lost so much weight. I looked amazing. That is the only
stress equals weight
I was like,
loss.
man, I want to be. anxiety-ridden skinny again right now, so bad.
Without the anxiety.
Without the anxiety. So maybe just those Unpack skinny.
That'll work. And
God, I would love that opportunity.
I've heard the side effects are...
Yeah. So I had to finally admit to my employer, to my husband, to my family that this was out of my control and that I've been hiding it since I was about 14. And so I went to an antidepressant, and it took about 4 antidepressants before we finally got the right one. And that's a process. Have you ever tried to get on an antidepressant and it wasn't the right one?
No.
Man.
Probably should be.
One made me throw up. One made me feel like I never taken, illicit drugs ever. I can't even smoke pot because I have to be in control of things. That makes me feel weird. But I felt like I was on meth or something because how people would describe.
How does that feel?
I couldn't sleep. My heart was like, I'm like, for somebody with anxiety, this is the worst.
Yeah.
And so when we finally
found... And they tell you to keep it for 4 weeks or 6 weeks?
My doctors just said, keep trying it. I'm like, I will lose my mind if I can. And I'm already losing my mind. And now I'm really losing my mind. And so I got into therapy. We found the right medicine. And the next 6 months, my whole life changed.
Wow.
It was the first time I navigated the world without fear. Nice. And I didn't realize how much fear was a part of my personality. So it was really crazy so many people felt like it changed my personality, but it was really like this grip, if you could imagine, like hands gripping around your heart with fear. It was like that grip just loosened up. And then I felt free and light, and like I had a little light inside, and I could finally let it shine.
I'm going to let it shine.
But
nobody wants to listen to us.
Yeah, I know. But my whole world changed. I ended up leaving my husband, and it was the right thing to do because that relationship was started in that place where I wasn't healthy. Mm-hmm. And that's what made that relationship work, is me being broken. And when I got strong and became myself, my spouse did not like that. He liked broken Barb. That was the Barb he wanted. That's the Barb he fell in love with. And it was really hard for me to, navigate all of that. And then that's when I started to go into real estate.
Oh, wow.
And
now you're real estate's anxiety.
Yeah, now real estate gives me. But it was something, it was a huge thing that I had to face. I wouldn't say...
you changed your personal life. You changed your professional life.
I changed my professional life, my personal life. And the thing about anxiety is it never goes away.
You just have to manage it.
You just manage it. And you learn to manage it where it's like this comfortable old friend. And you don't get afraid of it. And you don't run away from it. You don't let it have control. You go, okay, here you are. It's like that Billie Holiday song. Good morning, heartache. Please sit down. It's like when my anxiety comes back, I'm like, good morning. Let's talk about why you're here.
Let's get to the
Let's have a cup of coffee together. And
or a shot of vodka.
And so overcoming that really, man, in learning to understand that this anxiety isn't a weakness. It isn't a negative. It does make me who I am. Mm-hmm. And I eventually got off of antidepressants because they started to kind of take away the edge of me. And they did kind of start to change my personality. It got to a point where I needed them to save my life. Mm-hmm. But then...
you were able to manage it.
They were starting to destroy my life because it was taking away impulse control. And kind of... I didn't care about anything. I didn't even know what it felt like to feel for a certain period of time. So I had to like pull back on that. So it was like what saved me... I had to confront. Yeah, I had to confront that too. And so it was a very pivotal few years in my life. And I feel like I just constantly keep having times where it comes up again. And I just, I tackle it. I talk to it. I don't get afraid of it. And it just makes me who I am, gives me my edge, gives me my little personality. And it's part of the little adversity that makes me stronger. And so I've become accustomed to my, but in a very functional way.
And I don't know if you do this, but whenever I change my life in dramatic ways, I do it all at one time.
Yes.
Like I don't do like, I'm going to buy a house here. No, I do. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to change job. I'm going to
Yeah.
like all at one time, and we're going to see
Yeah.
how it goes.
Right. I
Yeah.
feel like I do the same thing too. When
I
I
make
make
moves, it's big moves.
it is. When I do life changes, they're big life changes. And they're not they seem spontaneous, but they're not, right?
Same.
We've been thinking about them for a while.
Yep.
And then we just pull the trigger and that's a domino effect of everything.
And my friends think it's spontaneous, but in reality, I've been not just houses or anything like, cars, whatever.
Your job,
But
you changed out of a
yeah.
career.
Mhm.
HR, you had a successful career in HR.
Yeah. I don't know.
And just
successful.
and then you just switched to real estate. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of
was
people who
successful.
were like, what is he doing?
And the crazy thing is HR and real estate have a lot in common.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, but it's all managing people.
Mhm.
You're managing people, business operations in HR. Well, and I guess in real estate, you're operating business operations as well. It's a lot of project management, keeping on track.
It is. And being diplomatic and understanding each side. You have to understand the seller's side, the buyer's side to be able to
The title
negotiate.
company side.
And the what?
The title company side.
And the title company side. Yeah, you have to manage all these different sides to be able to get to the end.
And people's emotions.
Yeah.
In HR, especially HR, well, both. If someone's about to lose their job or getting written up, or a promotion,
Yeah.
their mood depends on
Yeah.
what's happening there. And then in real estate, they're buying, selling,
They're emotional.
death, divorce, kids, empty nest. Like those all have emotions tied to them.
It's always a pleasure or a pain point where people move, right?
Mhm, yep.
They're having babies, they're getting married. That's the pleasure point. And downsizing, sometimes that's a pleasure point too, because they're empty nesters and they have this new, and then you have the pain points, divorce, death, losing a job, and you have to be able to help navigate those emotions. It's a very emotional thing. So HR would be perfect for real estate. Also, if you were a therapist, I think
We're just unofficially, we're unofficially therapists.
I feel like that would translate really well into real estate. Project managers, I think they could transition really
But
well.
usually they don't have people skills.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
We're just
and sorry,
we're making blanket statements about project managers.
We should probably
now.
stay away from that. We're going to make all the project. Is it just two people still listening? Your mom and my mom.
Yeah. So,
But it's those things in HR specifically. I went through a lot of stuff that really made me a tougher person.
yeah.
When I first, and going back to confidence, is whenever I first got into it, I didn't have the confidence to sit there and fire someone.
Yeah.
But something psychologically that I had to take myself through is, by the time they're at my desk or in the conference room, when I'm firing them, they've had plenty of warnings. They've had the support they need, and it's their decision that they have not changed.
Right.
It's not in my hands to make them change.
Right.
I've given them the resources to change and showed them the expectations. And same with real estate. You set those expectations early on in the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I operate. This is what I expect. Those consultations.
Yeah.
To make it hopefully a smooth transaction, even though we know that anything can happen.
It's the real estate gauntlet. You will always have bumps and bruises and things. But, sometimes you do have those transactions where everything just goes according to plan.
Mhm.
And those are fabulous.
Yes.
We love
They're
those.
too far and few between. And, I really love whenever we have the perfect buyer and perfect seller. It makes a world of a difference. Even if the lender's terrible or the title company or the survey doesn't get done, whatever, those little things, if we have a good buyer and a good seller, we can make it work. And I always say everything's figure outable.
Everything is figure-outable.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It definitely is.
And, I think having a good realtor is being able to problem solve and I had a lot of that in HR as well. Yeah. Problem solving and managing people's emotions to get to the outcome.
Yeah, as realtors, we are problem solvers, critical thinkers, negotiators. There's a lot of hats, marketers. There's a lot of hats that we wear.
Therapists
In some cases. And so, Yeah, there's a lot of hats we wear. So you have to have a lot of confidence and be able to switch it around to be able to fulfill that particular role. That, you know, one minute you're a marketer, one minute you're negotiating, the next minute you're sympathetic and listening to this particular seller's story of why they have to sell their home, and then gearing up to help them in that direction. So it takes a lot out of us emotionally. So we have to make sure our mental health is really there and strong for our clients, because there's a lot that we go through.
Yeah.
That we don't talk about. We don't really talk about this part of real. Everybody just thinks it's, well, let's look at great homes and this, that, the other. There are times, and I'm sure this is for you too, where I showed up to show a house and my personal life is falling apart. Falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sobbing or something. And as soon as I opened that door, my realtor face is on, because it's about them, not me. And it is hard to suck that up.
100%.
But we do it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And, you know, I always apologize for, you know, not being present, essentially. But really, it's all internal.
Yeah. Nobody knows that you're not present.
Yeah. And with the showing that I just had where they were complimenting that was, I apologize, because I've been really focused on that other.
Yeah. It's taking up real estate in your brain.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
And there was something else I was going to hit on.
Well, there's so much to cover in this. There's just the things that we have overcome personally. For me, anxiety was a major one. For you, confidence.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still working on that.
And me too. But I think it comes with age. You know, I'm 50 and you're in your late 20s. Mm-hmm. So when I was in my late 20s, I was a hot mess express when it came to confidence. I think it's just a hot mess express. You've got your stuff together. But
so it seems like.
I feel one good thing about getting older is you do feel more confident, as long as you're
just experiences.
Yeah, if you're taking your experiences and instead of having regrets, you're going back and going, oh, okay, I learned this, I learned that. This is all shaped who I am.
You know, that's something I'm very fortunate with. I don't regret a lot.
Yeah, that's great.
There's very, very few that I regret. And so, yeah.
That's a good way, because that shows that you're learning from what you do.
Yeah.
Because if you're not learning and your ego, again, I know we talk about ego all the time, gets in the way, then you have regrets. Because you're not kind of accepting the life path that you're on and kind of learning from that. And it's important to do that, I think, very much so.
Yeah.
So
it came to me again and I forgot it.
Anthony's having brain fog. I love it. I love that it's not just the perimenopause old lady over here. I couldn't remember the door code to get into my own house last night. And I was like, I have early onset Alzheimer's. No, I'm just in the throes of menopause. Thank you very much.
Well, and it's funny. I just looked down and our sales manager's calling me. I'm like, oh, anxiety.
What keeps you up at night?
But the other thing I was going to say is, you know, we're fortunate that we work at a larger brokerage where we have a lot of agents that are top producing agents that are experienced. And when I go into the office, it makes me feel good that I'm not the only one that's in this.
Struggling.
Yeah. And, you know, it could be managing another realtor on the other side. It could be managing your clients, managing a problem house that's just hard to sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have the support of other agents and of our staff.
Collaboration. I'll say it again. Collaboration is so key to being successful in this industry, because we are lone wolves and we're out there by ourselves on islands. And when we can finally come together in a very supportive environment in our brokerage, we're very Realty Austin, Compass, I'll call them out all day long. We have such a nice, collaborative, supportive environment there. So it helps us have that landing space for all the emotions that we go through and the things that we learn every day. I mean, you're a seasoned realtor. You will come up with new things that come in real estate that you're like, hey, did you ever see this? Have you ever seen a house built on top of a septic tank? Because I have. And it's happening right now.
And I feel like that's one of the pros about real estate is it's never boring.
It's never boring.
Never
So
boring.
if you have a little ADD and
we don't.
Yeah,
we don't have any.
And this is the best job for people with ADD, because you could be you could hit marketing, therapist, negotiating, and analyst in all within 30
An investigator.
minutes. And investigator.
I feel like we
Yeah,
investigate
sometimes
some-
we do need to do a little sleuthing. Well, this is good to talk about some of these. I'm getting a little vulnerable, talking about.
Now they're all depressed.
Yeah.
That we're
Our
talking to.
no, it was great. Anxiety has been just part of who I am, and overcoming it and learning to work with it has made me a stronger person. I think a better realtor, a better mother. My son is going through anxiety like I did in my 20s, and I am able to help him,
Good.
which is so great. So, and and your struggles with confidence and all of that is making you a stronger realtor. All of it is. And I can't wait to see where you are when you're 50.
I know. I'm going to look back at these podcasts.
I know.
It's my transformation.
Well, thank you for joining us
Yeah,
today.
and we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, and
Remember to like, comment.
yeah, and subscribe. And if you have something that you've overcome, you want to share, just drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
We'd
DM
love to
us,
hear
whatever.
it. We'd love to hear it.
Awesome. Until next week.
Yep.
We'll see y'all later. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Yes, so please like, subscribe, comment,
Share.
follow.
Whatever it might be.
Until next time.